Okay. So welcome to this event. This event it's an event that we organized so as to present you our students' work about the World Health Day and the Earth Day. And it's entitled Restoring Our Earth for a Healthier and Fairer World. They are students of its Smart Saving Labs project, um, explored some websites and some articles and decided to presentations on this. This event is hosted by eTwinning Live and for World Health Day in Greece. Students started working by using a comic that I created with the highlights of pandemic related to health inequities, and then we had a brainstorming about which are the health inequities before COVID period and which are the health inequities that the pandemic showed made more visible. Then students were encouraged to make a presentation by using any tools they would like to use. The majority of the students made copies, but we also had the Mother's Earth Day. So for this, we took material from the website of Earth.org, and there we also attended a live event they had for celebrating Earth Day, and we used the toolkit that they have. And in this tool are included a lot of resources and video, and they also have some lessons plans. We used some of those, but it was only for brainstorming and to gain the knowledge, and after that to take part to some quizzes. Here is the one that students liked more, maybe because it was more close to their subjects. It was how much do you know about regenerative agriculture, and based on the material that they had studied, they had to answer 10 questions, and the majority of students had a percentage of 6 to 10 or 7 to 10 right answers. So all of them were agriculture specialists. And they told me that they have another one degree, except of food technology technician. They are agriculture specialists now. And they asked if I can make certificates for them. And maybe we will do that at the end. As I said before, the majority of the students made posters by using poster on my wall. Um, I liked the fact that they were thinking different. I like this one very much because it includes all the situation. It says air pollution being ignored, and the result was that we have the pandemic. The earth is in danger, the environment is in danger. We ignored noise, and the result are the birds and some health problems to us and problems with our to take the noise, and we also ignored water pollution, and the result is coming back to us from the dead fish or the and the water that is polluted. We also ignored soil pollution, And the student here says, can you see what are you doing? And I like the picture that I can see, I can hear, I can speak. And encourages us to say, stop with that, and return our before we die. The other one says that for recovering and having less health inequities and less public health policies, we need the wealth distribution and better education. Of course, we need some more, but maybe the student thought that these are the most important. In this poster, they are trying to identify the groups that have the most, that face the most health inequalities. And I like the motto at the end, everyone everywhere can realize the right to good health. And it's the motto of World Health Organization. I'm not sure, but I think that in the material that I showed to them, there is some way back. Here is a poster where the student makes some examples of how we could build a fairer and healthier world. And I think the same is that one. Here there are some steps that some measures that could follow by our community. And here says about environmental health, how this can arise. There were some students that made the research and collected data about the situation in our country. Here is presented only one institute, the Institute of Preventive Medicine and Occupational Health. It's only one of the institutes that are specialized to these subjects, but couldn't found only this. And here are presented the projects that this institute has for encouraging the groups that are affected more to have to face less health inequities. And, I can say that this one about nutrition, it's about nutrition, and it has to prevent diseases by using the right nutrition. It's a program, the most old program of Prolipsis, and it wants to educate the persons to use the right food for facing less health problems. Here is a project about friendship. It's friendship in every age, and it focus to no one to be alone, because they recognize that the persons that have loneliness are more infected about health problems, and maybe they will face more diagnosis. Here is an ad-free training, and they offer training to refugees, immigrants, and all those persons that are living alone. These are the most old projects. They are running a lot of years, and this is iHealth project. It's an application. I don't remember now what exactly does this one, but it's an application, and you can get information there. Here the student describes the health condition in Greece. It's based to one report. The report is of 2019.
19.
It's a general report, and here is there are presented some plans that our government has so to reach poverty generation until 2017. Here is the application that Konstantinos created. As I saw to the photos that he said, he used code, and he has the map of Greece. And in the map of Greece, there is the life expectancy, the self-perceived health, the access in healthcare, and also has some regional inequities. So if you click in each one of those, you are moved to another screen, and there you can hear the situation in Greece. I have heard because he shared the code with me, and the only thing that I think that went wrong there is that all the presentation is heard in English, except of the numbers that are in Greek. They present there some percentages, and the percentages are in Greek language, not in English. All the other text is in English, but the percentages are in Greek. But it's great because it shows all the details. You can hear all the details on this. And he said a map where he found the data. I didn't know that map, but it's very good because I visited it, and there is a European map. And if you click in one country, you can take the data of this country. So he told me that he could reach that, but not now because he has his exams for the entrance to the university. But maybe in the summertime he will do that with all the countries that are participants to this project. And it will be a gift from him to us. Konstantinos also did that game. It's a remix. He used that poster to present, so I added this photo. And the instructions, I saw that they used the instructions of the person this game, and it offers some choices. You have to choose one of the choices that he has, and if you don't choose the right one, the game stops. If you choose the right one, you can go to another question. I will see that too. Some students made comics. Here is a comic presenting the death of a poor old lady, and the doctors describing some facts that may take some role to the situation and that found her death. Here in the photo is Areti, who made another comic, not this one. This one is made by Konstantina. Konstantina has made the report a comic, and she presents the facts of this report. And Kubra described me what she says because she sent me yesterday, and we were all in a bad mood because of my father-in-law death. So I couldn't see that, but I told that the title that she sent me, it's me disappointed. And I wasn't sure if it's related to our project, but I remember now that Konstantin told me when I presented the report that unfortunately she believes that nothing is going to change in Greece because all health projects that were offered by our government didn't have a success, and still there is a problematic situation in our healthcare system. And sees students that are facing health problems, and maybe that's why she used the title Disappointed Me. And as I can see now, she has also used her avatar to the comic. So she's the one that says something. No. The other one says that we can change it. Maybe she has present her thoughts to her friend. But this one is her avatar. I'm sure for that. And here is Areti's comics. She told me that it's unfinished, but she had no time to finish it. And she describes malnutrition in so as to show us that there are disadvantaged cases, that these are facing some more problems that we can't imagine. And it's describing a situation where a mother goes with her daughter who is very sick, and she has also lost one more child, and she doesn't want her child to die too, because they are facing problems due to drought. And now it's your turn, Flor.
Yes.
The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, my Aspa. Yes. Hello again, my friends. We are continuing with the activities of Turkish team for the World Health Day and International Mother Earth Day. Let's start with World Health Day. For the World Health Day, Turkish students are asked to think and search about this day, and they come up with some comics pointing out the importance or situation of health by using Pixton. As you see in this comic, Turkish student Gizem chose a psychological disorder, anorexia nervosa, and gave some information about it. This illness is very common, especially among youths. So especially girls want to be like a model, you know. They want to be so slim. Although they are fit and slim, they psychologically think themselves as fat. This is a psychological disorder, of course, and Gizem wanted to work on this disorder. Maybe she knows that lots of her friends think in the same way. They want to be slim, although they are fit enough. So let's continue with, yes, Sıla. Sıla is another Turkish student, and in her comic, Sıla, what did Sıla do? Yes, she gave the historical basis of health. She explained when it is celebrated, etc. And here Buse gives information again about the history of World Health Day. Maybe in this time the students are somehow busy, and it is good they try to make some pixels, but they, how should I say, didn't want to search more and be more creative maybe. I'm sure they can do better if they like. Again, Buse mentions here when World Health Day celebrated. It has been celebrated since 1945, and health doesn't only mean physical one, but it also consists of complete well-being in terms of spiritual and social aspects too. Yes, another student, now Merve. Merve points out in this comic, all people deserve health services equally without facing any financial problems. That's right. Each student wants to see some hope about future. Each of them wants to make their countries, the social equalities be better. So now Fatma Gül, another Turkish student, she wanted to prepare a comic about Mother Earth Day. Here in this comic, by using Pixton, Fatma Gül chose to give some historical information of the importance of Mother Earth Day, which countries started to celebrate it, and it is so important for all countries actually. She pointed out this in this comic. Yes, then my students used Canva and they prepared some posters. I wanted them to create some mottos or slogans for a campaign. Maybe when our schools open, we can print all these posters. I liked actually. Now Buse prepared these posters on Canva. She said we have no planet B, protect Earth Mother. And now you see Ceren and Fatma Gül's works. They also prepared these posters. Take action, Earth is too much exhausted. Yes, it's very true. And on the right column, do not waste, make compost, enrich soil, prevent global warming. Here I tried to combine all the posters in one page. You see they try to write some slogans. Maybe then we will use all these one. In the middle of the posters, let's look at this. I have no power to continue without your support. P.S. Earth. Earth is speaking to humanity, and she tells, I have no power to continue without your support or help. For Earth Day, Mother Earth Day, we also organized an on-site eTwinning event at our school, and we tried to make bokashi compost with Turkish students. Yes, bokashi actually is a Japanese word meaning with fermented organic waste. The foods wasted and thrown into rubbish cause the greenhouse effect, which increases, of course, global warming. Yes. By bokashi compost, we transform waste foods into organic fertilizers for soil via of fermentation. Through this method, organic carbon, nitrogen, phosphate, and all trace minerals enrich the soil, allowing more plants to grow and more carbon dioxide to be drawn from the atmosphere. To start with bokashi compost, we needed a thermos, let's say. You see in the middle of the picture, this blue one. We used the thermos and we made, first of all, beneficial microorganism mix. It is also called as lactoserum. Lactoserum, yes, first. How did we make lactoserum? We made rice wet with water and drained its water. To this water we added some milk and then molasses to make fermentation process fast. We needed 10 days to have a proper lactoserum. We used a thermos bottle to start bokashi compost, as I said. At the bottom of the bottle, we put cartoon papers to balance the humidity during fermentation process and sprayed some lactoserum that we had before. Yes, now, okay. After putting cartoon waste at the bottom of the bottle, this thermos, we added waste foods such as cucumber, potato scraps, salads, fruits, eggshell, and press them to decrease their contact with air. Pressing is very important in bokashi compost. What we done? We cut the leftover food into small pieces, as you see in the first picture here. This is not an obligation. This is not necessary. But if you want to make fermentation process faster, you need to make the ingredients into small pieces. And there is a crucial point about bokashi compost. You can use all sorts of leftovers, but they mustn't be rotten or decayed. You should use fresh, how should I say, waste, but not decayed or rotten. And we added waste food to the middle of the bottle and put cartoon again by spraying lactoserum, as you see in the last picture of this page. When the bottle is almost full, it was important to press the compost with a plastic bag. It would decrease the contact with oxygen, so to have a proper fermentation at the end. And let's continue. At last, we close the lid of the thermos tightly. The ideal temperature for compost is 21 and 37 degrees. Among these degrees, you should take the water from its top in every 2 days and open its lid each day to control if there is a bad smelling and mold. It means if there is a bad smelling and mold, it means that your compost is unsuccessful. However, if there is a smelling like a pickle or vinegar, and if there is white bubbles on the top, it means process is going properly. After 15 days, compost is ready. You can drain its water by using the tap of this thermos bottle. As you see in the picture, my colleague Phyllis, we made this organization at school, this event at school, and then our schools closed, so we are in lockdown now. Phyllis brought this bottle, this compost bottle with her to her house. Sorry. And now she controls day by day in her balcony and use the water. As I said, after 15 days, the compost is ready. But after 10 days, she started to use the water of the compost. She take some water. Actually, you should drain its water and use by diluting it 1 divided 100 with water. You will mix with water. So what she is doing with this, she uses it as a spray to her flowers, and she, after 15 days, when the compost is ready, she will bury all this compost under the soil. It will be soil, organic soil at the end. And this event was published in our local newspapers, 2 local newspapers. And I gave here the pictures of the events, the newspapers. So that's all for now with me. My presentation, yes. Now it's Austrian team's floor. Aspa, I can continue, of course, but I just want a second, please, okay?
Okay. Our partner.
Somebody knocks at the door.
Okay. Okay.
I'm coming.
This presentation is for from our partners of Austria, but unfortunately, Elfi, our partner, can't present this event as their students have exams right now. So she uploaded their activities, their results in Kubra is going to present those. Actually, it's a brainstorming about how we can restore our earth. She asked some questions to their students, and those some handwritten word clouds. So the step is yours, Kubra. I have already
okay.
What it's about this Austrian activity, so you can go on.
Okay, thank you. And our Austrian team made some brainstorming about the issue, about how we can restore our earth. You see the students poster-like findings here. They try to make some mottos about the importance of this day. It is actually a picture, a frame picture. They thought about how our future will be if we do not care about our earth. They made some brainstorming actions and tried to find solutions to this problem, as you see in this page. And they divided the issues, save water, save energy, reduce your meat consumption. So they wrote their findings here. They tried to touch all the issues about Earth, including water, energy, food, and our human actions, actually. And again, they wrote their slogans. This is all for our stream team. Yes.
Okay.
If you like.
So maybe we could introduce the activities of Serbian team, as Gordana is here, and we will
Yes.
to the French team later on.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready, Gordana? The floor is yours.
Do you hear me?
Yes?
Yes. Yes, Gordana,
I
please.
will present to you activity from Serbian team for this two very important day, Earth Day and Heredity Day. Students market the Earth Day with a series of the activities, studying the causes of environment pollution, making poster, infographic, and etc. The most important activity is the making of composter and compost. And here you can see first they study what is the composting. Composting is controlled aerobic biodegradable of organic material. Aerobic because the processes happen in the presence of oxygen, and biodegradable because break of organic materials into their basic elements by living organisms. After that, they study and collect data about the composter, how can they make, and they find the composter can be made of plastic, wood, old rubber, and metal wipes. We make a composter about out of wood, and here on the picture you see how they work on making that composter. Okay, and when they make a composter, they collect data about what can put in the compost, and they find that compost is have two things: the brown and green. Here you can see here in the table you can see what is put in the brown part, and on the picture you can see students where they collect the leaves and parallel of that they arrange the schoolyard that look beautiful. Now here is green part, and you can see things what they put in the green part: glass, coffee ground, tea bags, vegetables, fruits, and etc. Our making the composter and composting without full has attract public attention, and many televisions come to make some videos about that composting. And we made a short video about the composting in our food. This part is missing because I put that a few minutes ago. Never mind. We marking the Healthy Day with many experiments. Some of that experiment is to providing sugar in the fruits, and the vegetables is providing vitamin C and other. Besides that, the student study also the role of the fats and oils, carbohydrates, proteins, vitamin C, and etc. That is all for me.
Thank you, Gordana. I would like to welcome Sylvie. She managed to come earlier from her exams, so we have to go back and present the French team activities.
Hello, do you hear me?
Sylvie, the floor is yours.
Okay, do you hear me?
Yes, Sylvia, hello.
Yes?
Yes.
We can hear you.
Okay. So, hello to everybody. Sorry for being late, but I have some oral exam, not for me, but my students, and I managed to finish earlier. So, I'm sorry because I couldn't hear what you said about the activities, except Gordana. I've listened to the end of your presentation, but sorry for Aspasia and Kubra. For the French activity, so we started by trying to make the students react concerning the situation, and we decided to show them. We decided to show them a documentary, which is an inconvenient truth, which is quite old but very striking, to realize how the situation was. After that, we decided to show them another documentary, which is a French documentary called Demain, which means tomorrow. And in this French documentary, they suggest many solutions to struggle against climate change. And the students were asked to suggest solutions, their own solutions. So they did it. They did posters, but they did them in French. That's why I didn't post the posters. After that, you can go down, Aspasia. Or can I go down myself? I don't know. Ah, yes, I can. Following the documentaries, the two documentaries, a colleague suggested to have a paper mache workshop. I didn't know how to do it myself, but she realized it herself. And she decided to use wasted paper and water. It was very symbolic because they wanted to create the planet Earth with just paper and water, and they realized it. So there were many steps. You can see the steps here with the cut papers mixed with water, and then they did it. The students enjoyed it very much because they could realize that they could do many things by themselves, just with paper and water. Okay, so we go down. This is the result. Well, it was not finished yet, but they enjoyed it. And after that, we asked them to create an awareness campaign, but we asked them to do it in a very humoristic style. That's why there is some humor in the posters. All the other posters were written in French or in Spanish because my Spanish colleague wanted to join us. So they also did it, but there were just very few in English. So I'm sorry for that. And concerning the World Day, we couldn't do much because the students had exams during 2 weeks. So we just asked them to see how was the situation in France. For instance, are there medical deserts? And do all the people in France have the same chances to be cured in the same way? And they realized that the life expectancy in France is quite high, because women go up to 85 years old and men to nearly 80 years old. So they thought that it was quite old compared to the figures in Europe, to the other countries. So we have a very good health system in France, because everybody can be cured. But there is a problem, because we live in the countryside here in the southwest, and there are some medical deserts. For instance, if you want to see an ophthalmologist, if you want to have new glasses, you need to take an appointment at least 6 months in advance. So that's a problem. And the government has decided to adopt a plan which is called My Health 2022 for next year, to be set up, which means that everybody in France will be cured in the same way. And if you need an appointment with a specialist, you will have it in the 2 weeks, in the 2 coming weeks. That's what the government wants. So I think that it's very positive. And the students, they didn't realize that the situation was like that. And we pointed to them that in some other European countries, the situation is getting worse. And we are very privileged here to be cured in the way we are. So I have finished. Sorry.
Thank you very much, Sylvie.
Thank
you very much, Sylvie.
I don't hear you.
Thank you very much, Sylvie.
I like the activities, and I will also bore the activities.
Could you hear me? Was the connection okay?
Yes, we can.
Yes, the connection was
So,
okay.
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 The last activities are the Italian activities, and Loredana can also be with us today. So maybe we have to present this, and I would like you, Kubra, to present the activities of Italian team, and I will try to find their post of another one activity.
Yes, okay. Okay, Aspa. And as you said, Loredana, our Italian colleague, is there a problem with voice, Aspa? Is there a problem with voice?
I think that there is.
It seems okay, but your voice is coming me double. Okay. Aspa, I can't hear you. Okay. Okay then. Our Italian students tried to analyze water. They made, how should I say, they visited a little farm in Italy, and they observed water management there. Here we can see what they did in this farm. We meet Carmelo, the landowner of a small piece of land rich in lemon and orange trees, also producing broad beans, artichokes, and peas. Carmelo coped with the water management in his land. He usually pours the water from the bin into a small tank connected to a pipe that carries the water down. The tank has been placed at the top of the tap, so by gravity the water reaches the sink without the need for electricity, without polluting, in total respect of environment. This water is used to water beans and pea seedlings if it doesn't rain for a long time. The wastewater, free of detergents, goes through this pipe directly to the ground, helping to make it moist. Fortunately, this ground is naturally fertile and allows the plant to produce lots of fruits, though it isn't irrigated too often. They actually, as you see, visited this small town and see how they tried or managed to cope with this water management. Actually, at the bottom of this page, you can see the YouTube video of the experiment, their experience in this town. We can actually open it if you like, or we shouldn't, I don't know, because we are living from this page.
Will open in another
Yes,
page.
yes, it will open in another page, so you can go and visit the video and watch it later if you like.
Yes, I will share my screen now because I also want to share their other activities. So maybe after that we can see the video. Okay. Wait a little bit. And this activity, the other one of Italian partners, was a workshop, an art of recycling in kitchen workshop, and they think that whatever we eat has a consequences on our environment, and similarly, what we don't eat can be harmful to our habitat. So they decided to use the leftovers of their kitchen and make a kind of art. And actually, they did some very special art, and I would like to share it with you. So I will stop sharing, and I will share my screen. And it's here. You can see it to the post of our Facebook page. And as you can see here, I will enlarge it. This is the art that they create. Can you see it?
Yes, yes, Aspa.
And this is the art. They used some vegetables and an egg and some flour, and they created these ladies with leftovers. And there are step by step how they did that. Okay, you can see that they have made a dot, and they are designing the lady with egg, and then they are starting and add the vegetables in the way that each student prefers, and then they are baking it, and that's the result. I thought that it's a very clever activity. They have some more
Creative, yes.
some more photos with all the steps. And in their website, to their school website, they have some more ladies like this one. And I think that it's important that students had the chance to see more activities that they can do in the kitchen and to be innovative with leftovers, because we always throw a lot of pieces, and why not to use them in this way? And now I could also share, I will stop sharing this, and I will share this video that Kubra
Yes.
told it before.
YouTube.
It's for the visit. It's only 2 minutes, but I think that it's good to watch it. So I will share my screen again. I hope that you can hear, but the important is to see what he's doing. So here we are again. That was. I know that in Sicily they are using a lot of ecological approaches for water management, and all of our partners to the European project has presented a lot of papedas that farmers are using. And it's a pity that Loredana isn't with us to share some more ideas on this. But I hope that you took an idea about what we can do in order to restore our earth. I don't know if you want to ask something or someone has to say something more about this.
Aspa, we will also want to make some, let's say, visits or search about what people dealing with agriculture in countryside do with water, because water management is very important, and some traditional, let's say, villagers do not know technically how to save water. So for agricultural activities, lots of water is wasted actually. So we also as Turkish students want to visit some villages, but during this time, because of pandemic, we have to postpone it. But this is an important issue, yes, and it is very nice to see how Italian team contributed to our project with this issue.
Yes, it's. I liked that because we also didn't have the chance to visit the farmers that were in our plans due to pandemic, and the only one that we did, but not exactly as we had imagined, is we had in our plans to train the farmers by using an app that our government has designed, and it's about water management. In this app, you can select your area as a navpachtos. You put navpachtos and you are selecting what are you going to grow up, what soil you have, the kind of soil, and which is the temperature in this area. And then the application shows you how many times you have to water your land and how many water you need to use. So in this way you avoid the extra water, and you know exactly that I have to use water every 4 days, every 5 days, and it had good results when they used it, but they didn't use in all regions. So we decided to make a meeting with the farmers, but the majority of the farmers didn't know how to use technology and meet us online and couldn't understand what's the point to do that online. So actually we presented this application to only 3 persons. But if in our plans next year, if the situation will be better, to call them, and because Chrysanthos is an agriculturist, we could also present them some tips about how to use it. But there are a lot of farmers that are turning towards sustainability, and they introduce some ways that they are thinking that it's for good. Actually, they are asking the older farmers, maybe grandparents, old persons, to advise them, and it's good because they combine the experience of the older people with their knowledge, and both gain something. That I hope that we will find the way in this situation. That's all. Is someone who wants to say something, to ask something? On this?
Vaso,
I got it lost.
Vaso,
Okay, maybe she had connected problems, and maybe she reconnected.
yes. Vaso raised her hand.
Okay. Do you want to ask something, Vaso? Do you want to add something? I can't hear you, Vaso. Vaso, I can't hear you.
It was a very interesting and nice presentation. Congratulations to all of you.
Congratulations to all the students. Congratulations both to the students.
Thank you, Vaso, for participating.
Very, very nice, very interesting. Congratulations to your students, to you that you organize all this. Very nice. Very nice, ladies. Bravo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vaso.